Well, hello everybody. Welcome to At Home with Rhonda. So glad you stopped in to spend a few minutes with me today. Um, got a whole lot of things on my mind today and a whole lot of projects that I want to dive into, but just thought I would take a few minutes and say hello and say thank you for stopping by. I hope this time together will be meaningful for you. Um, so today, one of the things that I'm doing as a project today is not something that I could just, say, hey, this is how I do it and this has worked for me, but we are having a lot of rain today. And on rainy days, you have to regroup and say, okay, what would be a good project that I can dive into and something to do? So today, for me, I am in an organizational frenzy. And I decided to do this little video clip today in my pantry. So I'm sure that by now you have seen all of the canning jars on the wall. My husband is a woodworker and he has so blessed me with building this just major, beautiful, amazing pantry for me. This actually used to be a bedroom. But our children are grown and they have children of their own, our grandchildren. So we decided to take this bedroom, which is right across from my kitchen, and we decided that we would make it into a walk-in pantry. So needless to say, I think it's been about maybe 4 years ago that he finished that, and when it was all done, it was a lot of work, a lot of painting. But actually it brought me to tears because this was definitely the pantry of my dreams. So this is where I'm working today. About once or twice a year, I just have the need to kind of go through and reorganize everything in my pantry and just, look at how much dust that are on the shelves and I don't know if you could see, but a lot of the shelves are empty. So it is garden season, so I'm hoping that by the end of the garden season, like sometime in the fall, these shelves will be a whole lot fuller than what they are now. But I want to talk to you a little bit about diving into organization. And sometimes, depending on your personality, that might be a really difficult thing to do. Because it's something in the back of your mind, you know you need to do it, whether it's your dresser drawers, whether it's the garage. I know that's my husband's struggle. He cleans the garage and then, 2 weeks later, it doesn't look like you've done a thing. So diving into it, the first thing is you have to make a choice. You have to decide, okay, today's the day. And that's what I did today. It's been in the back of my mind that I need to look at my jars. I need to make sure that there's no seals that have been broken and just all of the different things. And so actually the first thing is to make a choice to do it. The second thing that helps really well is to sit down and to make a list. What actually needs to be done. And I beg to think that probably when you make that list, it's probably not going to be as bad and as intense as what you think it's going to be. So that's kind of what I did today. And I said, okay, well, what do you do? Where do you start? And for me, I decided in my pantry, I have a lot of jars in here that are filled with food, but we have a container outside that has probably 300 empty jars. And I decided, what am I doing that for? All of those jars are just taking up space in my container. So my decision was I was going to pull in all of those jars and I'm going to wash them, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just reloading the dishwasher and washing them, getting them really clean. And then what I'm going to do is in all the empty spaces, I'm going to put all of my empty jars. And when I get done with getting all of my jars, whether it's the quart jars, the pint jars, the jelly jars, when my shelves are completely full, whatever I have left, I'm either going to sell or I'm going to donate. Because why do I need it? I mean, my pantry will only hold so many jars, right? So I guess I came to that conclusion by sitting down and just thinking about it, making a choice. I'm going to do this, and then making a list. Okay, what needs to be done. And now not only am I going to save space in my container outside, but I will actually know how many jars that I need to fill my pantry. So that's what I'm kind of doing today, is, taking some time to just organize, reorganize, make sure that I've got all of the older food in the front, and the more current food that I've canned in the back. Just taking time to do that, and it's such a good feeling. And on a rainy day like today, you still can be productive. You don't get to the end of the day and feel like, gosh, I didn't do anything today. So for me, organization is just kind of how I roll. It helps me to be more efficient. And if you have a different personality, that's completely okay. You don't have to have everything all labeled and organized and everything like I do. I have all my chicken stocked together, my venison stocked together, all of my potatoes together. In the end, that's not that important. So you do you, and you organize the way that you can and what works and makes life efficient for you. So before we end today, I thought it would be helpful for somebody, maybe even to light a little fire under you, to say, that thing that you've been wanting to do for 6 months. Well, if not now, when? You can ask yourself. If not today, why tomorrow? So maybe if it's something that's on your mind and something that's kind of weighing you down, sit down and decide. Look at your schedule and decide, what day am I clear? What day am I available to be able to start to tackle this problem or this thing that's a mess? And if you're like me, even though my pantry may not have been a mess, and it wasn't as bad of a mess as what I thought it was going to be, but now that I've got in there and I've made the choice, I've made my list, and I'm starting to tackle it, I don't have to tackle it today, but I can at least start. And that's half the battle. And even though I'm an organizer, I am a procrastinator. Is there any procrastinators out there? So yes, I can procrastinate, because sometimes when I think of the job, I want to get it done today. But it's not important that I completely get it done right now. The important thing is that I start. And so that's my motivation to you today, is take some time and make a list and decide, okay, when am I going to do this? And you'll be so glad you did. You'll be proud of yourself at the end of the day or at the end of the week whenever you finish your project. It'll make you feel good. And that's what's really important. So, and on kind of a spiritual note, I just wanted to sit down and have a moment. And for some reason, I don't know, in the last, I'd say, couple of weeks, there's some scriptures that have kept coming to my mind. So I've been asking the Lord, what are you trying to say to me? And it's simple. It's where Jesus is saying, those who have eyes to see and who have ears to hear. And so I've been kind of pondering that thought for the last couple of weeks. And I've been asking the Lord, okay, Lord, what does that mean for me? Eyes to see and ears to hear. And, what I've thought about is we all have eyes. Just like right now, I'm looking at you. Actually, I'm looking at myself, which is kind of awkward. But when you see this video, I will be talking to you. So I am imagining that I am talking to you right now. We have eyes to see, and I've got ears to hear. I can hear my voice. I can hear, I've got the dishwasher going, I've got the dryer going, I hear all of these other noise. But sometimes, even though we have eyes to see and ears to hear, we're not actually seeing and we're not actually hearing. And Jesus was telling his disciples, blessed, and which he's telling all of us, blessed is the one who has eyes to see and ears to hear. And when I take that, I think, Lord, what do you want me to see? What am I closing my eyes and my ears off to? Is it the homeless people on the side of the street? Is it the neighbor who has a need? And I've been so busy working with my jars that I haven't had eyes to see their need. What are people telling me? When I'm having conversations and they're telling me things, am I truly hearing? Or am I just waiting for that little break in the conversation to be able to say what I want to say? And I think that's what he would say to us, is we need to go deeper. Sorry about that. My phone just fell back. But I think we need to go deeper than just looking at the natural. We need to ask God, Lord, give us your eyes. Help us to see through your lens, your eyes. Help us to hear through you and through your word. And I think if we do that on a daily basis, he will open up opportunities for us to not only encourage ourselves, but to encourage all of the other people who are around us. And isn't that what's important? These jars, will eat them and they'll be gone. The work that I'm investing in my garden and in my pantry, all of that is fun. But if I truly don't have eyes to see and ears to hear what Jesus is trying to tell me to do things that have a lasting effect. And so I encourage you today. Do you have eyes to see and ears to hear? Are you listening with your natural ears? Or are you listening intently for what Christ may be saying to you today? So talk to him about that and ask him to give you his eyes and his ears and to help you to see and hear what he wants you to see and hear. You have a blessed day today, and I hope this has been an encouragement to you. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Be blessed.